All right, man, we back. Hip Hop 101. I wanted to get to this yesterday, but I think the NBA had the best hand yesterday, man. So let's get into Hip Hop 101. Appreciate everybody that will check in. 704 Joe, Dallas, Texas in the house already. As you step in the building for the live stream or you step in the building for the replay, appreciate either or. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If it's a thumbs down button, let me know in the comment section or DM me on social media where I need to get better at, man. Love the constructive criticism where I need to get better at. But hey, once again, it's Hip Hop 101. I think we're like on episode 7 or 8 or something like that. And today we will be talking about Lil Boosie's dead wrong for, hooking his son up with grown women at 12 years old. Young Buck says that he's free. He hopped on Instagram Live with DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia. We're going to talk about why Jay-Z bailed out of the Teriyaki Snitch 9 deal. And then we'll kind of end off talk about Drake's weird ass top 5. But hey, don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links in every video I do is in the description. If you need to reach out for a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or you just want to chop it up and got a question, Twitter is the fastest way, but I'm on your IG and Facebook as well. Other than that, want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate for me is make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, thumbs up the video, and most importantly, share the video. And don't forget to check out our sponsors today. Make sure you check out my boy Dame J. Brand new album, No Regrets. It's on all social media. All on streaming platforms. I checked Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. He got it syndicated everywhere. So check it out, man. I'm telling you, man, my boy from VA coming with those bars, that fire. 10 great tracks, production, mix. It ain't no in the basement studio sound and shit. Great A shit, man. So check out Dame J new album, No Regrets, on all streaming platforms. Don't forget, check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze. They got 100% all natural products. Check them out. Black-owned business. From lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, you name it, they got them. Got some for the kids, the men in the house, women in the house, granny. Great Father's Day gifts, women that's coming up. Great everyday gifts, great everyday products. They live in toothpaste is some of the best you can find on the market. 100% organic. When you use the promo code Goodfellow1Box, get 18% off the 100% all natural products. So it's www.thehealthblaze.com. Website, promo code, all that's in the description. Don't forget to check out our cell phone buyers recycler sponsor, black-owned business as well too. Phone number on the screen. You can hit them up. They buy iPhones. They buy any phones. They got a website. They got social media links. All that's in the description. So make sure you check out cell phone buyers recyclers. Real good dude. Shout out to Texas, man. That's where they located at. Yolanda Hill, salute, sister. So let's get into it, man. A lot of people want to know about Boosie. Michael said, we can agree to disagree. If a lot of dudes trying to justify what Boosie did by trying to down what Dwayne Wade did, I don't agree with neither one of them. Miss Black D, salute. TJ, what's going on? I don't look here, man. You can like. It's no right and wrong is something that they try to push. It's a narrative. It's not even a narrative. It's kind of pretty much like some creed or some religious type thing they try to push. It could be two wrongs. It could be two rights. It could be two goods. It could be two bads. It ain't always a right and wrong, a good or bad. In my opinion, both is bad. To let your son transition at 12, 13, no. Mine is still growing. A lot of times kids don't even know what they like or don't like at those ages. Infamous knowledge, salute. Rob Stanford, salute. Make sure I show the video. Me personally, I'm not hiring no grown woman to do nothing to my kid. That's molestation in my opinion, man. If we being real, sorry, my mason jar here. I'm drinking some cranberry juice. But if I'm being real, that's molestation, man. You just gotta give your kid the game. You don't want your kid 12 years old tricking. He think when it all boils down to it, every woman want money to have, sex with them, oral sex, or, he gotta learn, like, what's Slick Rick song? Teenage love. Don't hurt me again. Might be going a little bit too old on you, man. But you gotta learn teenage love. And 12 years old is almost teenage years. It's preteen. 13, you gotta learn what makes women talk. Once you actually learn women, which is damn near impossible, but once you learn how to capture them, how you get them, how you reel them in, and then eventually as you get older, you learn, Kobe 2K fan salute, you learn how to keep them. You learn retention. You learn how to retain them. You know what I'm saying? Just paying for them, that's just gonna open you to a world of heartache and companion. You'll never find love paying for women. Never. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said, well, I don't give a fuck. Everybody want to be loved. Mommy, daddy, aunts, kids, everybody want to be loved. May not be unconditional, Ronaldo salute, but everybody want to be loved. Every woman want to be loved. Women, they don't mind publicizing their ambitions, or they want to be loved. They don't mind promoting that. They don't mind it, letting you know they want to be loved. Men have an issue with that. One girl break your heart at 15 and 16, then you want to dog all the rest of the women or be cold hearted. At the end of the day, the most player pimpest nigga in the world, deep down inside, they want to be loved. Nobody want to grow up old, single, still in the clubs, you know what I'm saying? Being somebody's sugar daddy. Don't nobody want to be nobody fucking sugar daddy. And that's what you teaching your kid to be, is a young trick. Charlie, salute. You teach your kid to be a young trick. Yo, I could pay her to do anything I want. Boosie wrong on so many different levels. And they talk about Teriyaki snitch 9. He just snitched on himself. They can, if the world was open and running again, and we didn't have these COVID issues and these quarantine and stay at home order shit. Come on, really? Are you paying another grown? I could see, like, if your kid was 17, he turned 18, and you got him a stripper, a dance, or something like that. But just because you got it, that just make your kid feel entitled. Or if I get in trouble, my daddy can just pay my way out. That's where that started. This may not be the starting point that we, the traditional starting point, but it may be the starting point of, he steals something out the store and, you pay for it. Like, all right, there's no problem. That's kind of where you start making excuses for your kids. Usually that's kind of where the entitlement starts at. It's a lot of poor kids that feel entitled. It's a lot of rich kids that feel entitled, just in their different ways. But Lil Boosie did wrong, man. If you justify that, man, only people that's justifying that is using Dwayne Wade as an excuse. That's it. It's child abuse. It's molestation. You know what I'm saying? At 12 years old, who want their kid to be having sex? Let's talk about that. Would he pay for a grown man to knock one of his daughters down? Absolutely not. Would he? No. Who wants their kid to be sexually active at 12? Motherfuckers 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 scared to tell their parents that they sexually active. Now it's different if you teach it. Now this is what white people do, and I have to explain this to certain black people. White people allow their kids to learn how to drink at the house. You know what I'm saying? They introduce them to C4 salute. Ray Zone, I see JA salute. They introduce them to alcohol. Maybe wine. You supposed to teach your kids how to drink. That's a totally different situation. You supposed to teach your kids how to drink in moderation, how not to mix alcohol, how not to, RJK salute, how not to, you drink brown with brown, you drink white with white, you don't drink and drive, you taste wine, you don't drink it. You teach them that type of things. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of things you introduce to your kids. Maybe not like a 12-year-old, maybe when they turn 15, 16, at the earliest. Michael, salute. At the end of the day, you teach them how to drink. You might teach them how to unload a firearm, how to handle a firearm. That is no issue with me with that. You might even teach them sex education at 12. Do your thing get hard? Do you feel a certain type of way about boys if you're talking to a girl? Do you know where kids come from? Sometimes you got to ask the obvious and make sure they understand that about protection and wrapping it up. Did Boosie go over that with him about wrapping it up and about protection, the birds and the bees, or he just went on and get your thing sucked? Like, come on, man. That ain't just the right thing to do. There's levels to it. D say Boosie grew up in a bad household. He was having sex young, and now he'll think it's normal to teach his kids to trick on girls. And when a lot of people products of bad household, that's not cool. He said he was teaching his 9-year-old how to put on a condom. That's a little bit too young. He supposed to be playing with G.I. Joes and PlayStations and shit. That's too young. 12 years old is adequate enough. It's kind of, I'm more thinking about condoms. I'm more thinking about closer to the 8th and 9th grade. About that type of stuff. But kids are fast now. You know what I'm saying? Kids are fast now. So You got, when I was in middle school, the girls looked like they was in high school. I went to a middle school that was all the same shit. Elementary had a separate corridor, but then the middle school and the high school shared the same hallways. And a lot of times you couldn't really tell the difference between the high school girls and the middle school girls. The 7th to 8th graders was looking like the 12th graders. And that was over, that was 15 years ago. Now, whenever they put in these food, these kids are big as shit. These girls is thick as shit early on, and that's why you get a lot of these dudes cut up with these underage women. So it's just something that I wouldn't do. I'm not telling him how to teach. He got more money than I ever have. He got more popularity than I ever had. He got a bigger father than I ever had. Just me personally. I don't think that's the way I would ever go. You just use the other litmus test. Would you pay for a man to down your daughter? No, you wouldn't. Let your son maturely. If he had a question like, "Dad, man, I'm having a problem with getting girls," you know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, you still got to talk to him about bullies. All of it kind of adds up in the same approach. If your kid is comfortable coming to talk to you about, "I got a bully or a girl like me," then you did something right. What should I do? If your daughter say, "Well, I'm ready to have sex," if she come to you like that, that means she trusts your wisdom. She trusts your word. Y'all got a good, comfortable relationship. It's okay. You're not supposed to have your kids scared of you to talk about things. And a lot of us grew up with, us men, we grew up with fathers or father figure or no father figure at all. We couldn't consult with that. You asking the nigga selling weed on the block or your older cousin, about these things. How many times could you really turn to your father and ask him something like that? A lot of times that wasn't an option. At least Boosie do have that communication with his son, but let it naturally happen. Let him be curious about women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a problem getting women. You know what I'm saying? And once you unlock getting women, man, I mean, you can be a 5 and back at 7. You could be a 5 and back at 10. A lot of times when you talk about women at that age, and just women in general, the baddest chicks get neglected the most because the good looking chicks, like the success, it's you got the bad looking chicks and you got the successful women. You know what I'm saying? They two different ones. They both look good, but a lot of times, even the most powerful, successful athletes, billionaires, businessmen, they neglect the successful, powerful woman. Black, white, orange, Simpson, yellow. That's true. And they be the ones begging for dudes to talk to you. That's why you see a bad chick that's a nurse or a bad chick that's a lawyer and she with a no good nothing dude. You know what I'm saying? This dude selling weed in Queens like Tony Yayo. But you know what? He had the kahunas to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? And now he can live, off of her and play her how he want to play her. And then you got the other girls that look good, that keep themselves up, but really they living fucked up. And them the type of girls, the Instagram models, the thoughts, the girls like that, they gonna give you more of a harder time as far as, intellectual stimulation and cooking and cleaning and being successful. They're gonna drain your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So you always kind of want the boss chick. You know what I'm saying? And the boss chick can be, she can be like, making what you making, but she just don't want nobody doing shit for her. I done been around a lot of women that want to pay their half of the bill. And those kind of women you kind of want. You know what I'm saying? That want to do for you, that can do for themselves. That's the key. Okay, it's cool. You young, you Boosie son age. You getting them, you going to high school and you know what I'm saying? You getting them because you got a car. You getting them because you the freshest. But as you get older in your 20s and 30s, a lot of older dudes, the reason they don't mess with younger dudes, some of them, or the ones that don't want to mess or don't like messing with the younger girls is because they can't do for themselves. That's a fact. I done heard a lot of older dudes. Had one dude who was working on the roof, and he was talking about how he was be smashing his son girls. His son 21. You know what I'm saying? He was just saying like he just don't like the fact that they can't do nothing for themselves. I think that's shady, but hey, he probably know his pops. D Miller, salute. So, different phases of it, women. But it's all about confidence. It's all about shooting your shot. I don't know if y'all remember. It was a episode. This shit is the funniest shit I ever remember. I was in the hospital when I watched this episode. This is years ago. It was King of the Hill, and the dude that can't talk, I forget his name. He be gibbering jabbering, and Bobby was having problems with women, and he ended up going to this dude at the end of the episode. He ended up going to this dude for advice at the end of the episode and shit, and he showed him his trick, and his trick was he shot a shot at every woman in the department, in the women's department at the mall. He was no. He would just ask her. He asked 10 women. Out of 10, he might not get none. 11th woman, he'd get them. And Bobby was like, "Is this your special trick to getting women?" Boom, Howard. "Is this your special trick to getting women?" And and he was like, "No, baby." He was like, "Yeah." Bobby was like, "What the fuck?" So really, it's attempts. You know what I'm saying? A woman, she'll eye you. You know what I'm saying? She might give a signal. She might not. I mean, a lot of times it's motherfucking it's just shooting your shot. If you get, I mean, I'd rather not today. This is the funny thing about it too. I'd rather be the guy that gets rejected in the middle of the mall. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be that guy instead of get rejected in the inbox. I don't want to be that guy. That screenshot will be forever. That moment in the mall will be for a second. I mean, as long as you don't make a scene, I'd rather be the guy in the middle of the mall. I'd rather be the guy at the bar. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. I'd just rather be that guy. You know what I'm saying? You get in the inbox, you say something, she shared with all 5,000 her. I'd just rather not be that guy. To each his own. I can deal with rejection and part. This technology shit is just on another level. Real talk. This is some crazy shit, man. You say something to your girlfriend like 10 years ago, she screenshot and she bring it back up. Remember you said you wanted to do this? Like, damn. Like, come on now. And you look weak as a nigga screenshotting too. It just never go your way and you screenshot. If you screenshot and make a girl look bad, right? "Oh, you weak. She was just," like, they don't make excuses. It's just like when a woman screenshot and gets a boy. It's like, man, bitch, chill out. So technology is just a whole different. It's a whole different beast. But for Boosie, he definitely wrong, man. And I hope, I hope he understand he wrong. Maybe somebody hit his line and be like, "Hey, bro, can't do that." But this is why we in the position we in. We not making the mistakes. We want our kids to have what we didn't have still, instead of correcting the mistakes how we parent. You know what I'm saying? But your kid gonna think like you. You know what I'm saying? We trying to still get them what we didn't have and stuff of that nature, but at the same time, it's really boiling down to we gotta progress with our parenting. We gotta progress. And that's the truth. We got to continue to progress. At 9 years old, you was now don't mean your son got to do it. And I think a lot of this comes out of homophobic fear. You hear me? A lot of this comes out of homophobic fear. It does. "Oh, I see Dwayne Wade, and I don't want my son to go down that route and be with another dude or be bisexual or whatever it is." A lot of this is homophobic fear. A lot of guys think about, if I have a son and what if he turn out this way, that way, and the third. A lot of it is fear of homophobia, man. And I think, a lot of dudes, agreeing with Boosie. "Oh, my son, if it's God's will, or if whoever you believe in, if it's their will, it's their will." You know what I'm saying? But make sure when you young, a lot of, let me say this too before I switch subjects. A lot of these dudes get with women, right? And they you breaking these women heart now. And now your son and your daughter growing up with two mommies. You feel me? Worst thing was, what Jay-Z say? Future, I ain't want to be like, I'm paraphrasing, I don't want to be like Future with another man throwing a football with your son. Now you got to fear that your son or daughter is looking up to two women of the household. These scandalous bitches ain't playing fair. Excuse my language. They ain't playing fair at all. You know what I'm saying? Forget walking in and you with your girl. Forget walking in and your girl smashing another girl. Imagine picking your kid up and your motherfucking girl that married a guy with a bull dagger. Dude, that make you kind of want to get your Ray Carew phone. Your daughter growing up seeing two women raise your daughter growing up seeing two women raise her. What's she supposed to think? I'm telling you, these chicks ain't playing fair at all in this generation, bro. It strike the fear of your heart, and I think a lot of this, major movement, like what Boosie doing, and I understand how he grew up, but I think a lot of dudes that support him, it's just the fight against homophobia, man. He said, "I know what you mean." They switch your words and screenshot. You ain't lying, bro. D say, yeah, Boosie kids might just be like him, a bunch of kids with different women. I heard other YouTubers say, Boosie trying to hide his sexual. That could be the case, but I don't think that. I think some people think too hard into it. I think it's just the fight against homosexuality in some of the cases. I don't think it's homophobia. I just think team LGBTQ plus community just being pushed so hard. So once you push something so hard, if I push PlayStation, Xbox on you niggas every day, the PlayStation motherfuckers gonna come in and say PlayStation. You know, whatever, however you go, this the Nintendo. Once you push something so hard and you force it on the people are going to push back. You know what I'm saying? And I think basically that's Boosie trying to do. He trying to fight the LGBTQ plus community when everybody is trying to normalize it when it's not normal. Everybody believe in the Bible, right? A lot of people, it's more atheists than ever out here, but a lot of people that be in the church, they don't practice what they preach. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a pastor and or a priest and you touching the boys. That's obvious. You don't have to look in the Bible for that, but it's against it in the Bible. You know, the Bible has become very, very subjective. It's what you believe and what you don't believe. Westlaw salute. He said in future niggas playing football with your saying, yeah, whatever he said, good looking. Kobe. But at the end of the day, that's crucial right there. People don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? You play with these women's emotions and you tell them you love them, and you don't have no intentions on being in a real relationship. And sometimes you could tell women like, you know what, I just want to kick it. And a lot of women will force you into a relationship. Before you know it, you blink twice and you're in a relationship. You're like, damn, I just bought you popcorn. Women have a way of getting what they want. That's why you see ugly girls with, dudes. They know how to feed you. They can make up and all different things. They know how to, clean you up if you get done doing what you're doing. They can just woo you into something like that. You just become comfortable. Instead of paying your full rent, you move in, help her with the bills, you save a couple dollars. It just become a comfortable situation. And before you know it, you like, man, I want to be with other women. And you damn if you do, and you damn if you don't. Because if you tell her you want to be with other women, she gonna be mad. She gonna be as mad as you did get caught cheating. It's a lose-lose situation. You're not gonna have a clean split, unless it's mutual. And she like, I know that's not working. I wish you the best. We can co-parent. Whoop-de-whoop. Blah blah blah. But with the type of women that most dudes talk to today, it ain't gonna go down like that. That's why a lot of dudes just cheat. Because it's gonna be the inevitable. However you slice the cake, it's gonna be a bad ending. Ain't no good split. A lot of dudes just get finessed into relationships. And women know what they doing. You know if a guy into you or a guy not into you. But women like when you dog them out. That's just the God honest truth. You play nice, you get dinner, you do things around the house when you young, and she end up leaving you for a dude who sell weed in Queens. I'm gonna keep using that reference. You know what I'm saying? So women will fight harder for you when you don't give them attention and you cheat a lot of them when they young. So you got that whole situation, but you mess over a woman, she gonna go to the ends of the depth of hell. If you really was stimulating her mind and body like that, she gonna go to the depths of hell to make you look bad. And like I said, now these chicks ain't playing fair. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfucking dudes that's complaining about their women having sex with men in front of their kids. She got a new nigga coming in every week. She messing with a bull dagger. She about to get remarried to a woman. You can't go to the court and say this ain't nah. Then you homophobic. So you gotta really watch who you having unprotected sex with. And sometimes you could be protected and it just happened. It's a crazy game out here, man. So you really gotta teach your kids who to really pick women. You really gotta just teach your daughters. You gotta just teach them everything you can, man. And that's very important. Just as it's important for you to be your daughter's first love. Take her out to eat. Show her how a man should treat her. A lot of times, this is what I say before I move on. The women with the daddies that grew up in a good household, them the women you should target for relationships. Real talk, a lot of times. Them the ones, but if you just want to be in the street, the club is the place to be. Clubs, colleges, bars, that's kind of where, you're not going to find a husband and wife there. You shouldn't look there. You're just going to have fun. Oh, see, Prince Akeem, you want to sow your real oats. You just want to sow your oats. You know what I'm saying? That's where you go to sow your real oats. But, educated women are good too. But then again, they have their issues too. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. You got to know what you're looking for. But sometimes we just get finessed into relationships, man. And men trap women. Don't get it twisted. Men to nut up in a woman just to keep her. And that ain't the way neither. So it's crazy, man. But a lot of dudes, man, a lot of dudes can go out that way. He said, I don't want a daughter, especially in this generation. I mean, it's a lot of still good women, but it's just a lot of temptation. He said, true, but guys know who are the crazy girls, but most ignore the signs and still smash her. True. Especially when she get pregnant. It's a lot of single pregnant women out here. You know what I'm saying? And that tell you if a guy love you or not. If a guy stick with you through pregnancy, even if it don't work out, he truly love you. If he bail, he ain't the one. Tell you that right now. If he bail, he ain't the one. If he can't stick by you while he got his seed in his stomach, he just not the one. But let's talk about Young Buck, right? Young Buck, said he free from G Unit, and I dropped the YouTube in the description. I'll put it in the description after the video upload. If I don't, and you want that video, I'll drop it in the chat real quick. If you don't get it, just hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. He says, homie claim, and he addressed his sexuality in the first second. He said, I ain't gay. That's what he said. But he goes on to say this. Homie claimed that I owed him, talking about 50 and shit, all of the bullshit Buck said about his dealings with 50. I know I don't owe nigga, but even me at a point of time, Paul, he talking to DJ Paul on Instagram from 3-6. He said, I got to a place where I was like, you know what? I just want to get to work. F it. I'll pay him. So even I got to the point where I tried to pay the dude something that I know I didn't owe him because that's how desperate I was. And I'm like, I'll give you half of the $300K and I'll give you the other half in 30 days. He come back and add another $50K on that and say he wants me to sign over my whole catalog, Buck said. Adding he owns all of his masters, unlike all the other unit soldiers. I didn't sign. He said, I didn't file bankruptcy before in my career. I'll do it again. I didn't file no bankruptcy technically to get off the contract. I filed bankruptcy to be like, look, if I owe you, nigga, show me that I owe you. Just show me the receipts. Show me what you claim, Buck said. And he said, according to Buck, 50 never provided the receipts because they don't exist, and he just playing games with him because 50 is mean. So, it was a nice long interview they had too. And so Buck is free to start dropping music again. All right. What happened was he dropped some 50 Cent diss songs that was flames, like Foofy. He was explaining how he was scared of BMF and all that. And what 50 did was basically had a record label take the money down. So he said he was willing to pay him the $600,000 that he said that he owed them, even without the receipts. He said, I told him I'll give him the 300,000 and then another 300,000 in 30 days. Then 50 said, okay, I add another 50 and I want to recoup all your I want your whole catalog. He said he the only member in G Unit that recouped all that paid, recouped. He didn't pay the label basically. He don't owe Interscope. He don't owe Jimmy Iovine. He don't owe G Unit. He don't own nothing. He said I don't owe nothing. Okay. He said that he the only G Unit member that don't have no financial debts to none of the labels. He said I'm the only G Unit member that owns his old catalog too. So he filed bankruptcy for 50 Cent to provide the receipts. Okay, he must have got some good legal advice to provide the receipts to what he owed. And 50 never signed, never provided the receipts. So now Buck is free to drop music. He free from his contract. And to be honest, he still got it. You know what I'm saying? What's so funny is people talking about a conversation that he had with a transvestite and all this other stuff, but we got fucking rappers in here who glorifying being gay. Come on, man. This dude, what's the dude name down there that be with Lil Baby and them? Gunna. I have a video of him saying that all the fine niggas come out to Chicago that night. Come on. So it's subjective to who you want to believe and who you don't want to believe. For a lot of rappers, 50 Cent let motherfucking old girl on the TV show grab on his ass and split his cheeks open. Like, come on. And 50 Cent go on here talking about Oprah when he oppressing another black man. For people enjoyment. Like, dude, let the dude feel his. I forget who it was. Town got the motherfucking picture. Go look up 50 Cent booty grab, whatever. I forget who it was who grabbed his ass on the national television. Just on some straight weird nigga shit, man. But at the end of the day, Curtis done tore down more artists, more black people than Oprah have. We can say men and women. So why won't you? It ain't like Young Buck about to get out here and go, triple diamond and no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Young Buck just about to go ahead and drop some street shit, some mixtapes and stuff for that next. Same thing with Lloyd Banks. He just clap back at 50. Lloyd Banks never said shit bad about 50, but all 50 do is like to poke at him. Like to poke at him. You talking about what 50 did? 50 did that? Yeah. Yeah, you gonna make me pull up this picture and put it in the community tab. He had some blue jeans on and like a pink shirt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Benjamin Ford, I ain't see you. Salute. James Carter, salute. So at the end of the day, he didn't tore down a ton of black artists. Man, he just went in his book. I had the audio version, man. I gotta find it again. They took it down. So anybody that asked me for the audio version, I'll try to find it again. And he talked like he got some sense on his book in the audio version. You feel what I'm saying? And you could just tell it's a troll. It's an act. 50 Cent is acting on social media, hanging people out to dry, tearing down the power actress, tearing down G-Unit. Anytime he got something bad to say about Banks, he slammed Tony Yayo into some bushes because he got a loan from 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? He bucked and wrote songs for him and didn't get credit for it and didn't get money from it. Lloyd Banks wrote the hook to End the Club. And he constantly just down and down them niggas. You hear that young dude Trav talk about 50 Cent, and you could just sometimes you just know when somebody telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And you can just tell by their mannerisms that motherfucker wasn't lying. Just like Coach No Joke, he told the truth on Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? But Young Buck, that's a tremendous deal right there. For you to own your old catalog, Young Buck was making $100,000 a year. Between 2017 and 19. That's without being able to drop. So 50 Cent didn't have him in a bad deal. 50 Cent just made him think smarter. If anything, Buck got to look at it as, I learned something about the record business. Remember, Buck was with Cash Money when they was in Rhapsody in the Basement. And Baby didn't put him on. 50 put him on. 50 seen the talent. It ain't no reason why Baby shouldn't have put Buck on. Buck is a talented artist. Buck got a good pen. I ain't never heard no bullshit Buck verse. He did his thing on Jeezy album. His first album was Off the Chain. And the mixtape he was dropping at 50 was taken down. They was crack. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know Buck had it like that. Lloyd Banks still is a talented dude. 50 Cent is one of those dudes where, and there's a lot of dudes in the industry like that. 50, Jeezy, he's just one of those artists you don't want to be signed to. If I had to be signed to an artist, out of all the jokers in the world, if I had to be signed to somebody, it'd probably be Rick Ross. Or Dr. Dre really a rap deucer. Easy Baby 1988. It'd probably be Dr. Dre and Rick Ross probably be the two dudes off the top I can think of I would sign with. Even throughout history, those are two. Because Dr. Dre didn't care that the Game became the hottest artist. He didn't care that 50 became the hottest artist. He didn't care Eminem became the hottest artist. Rick Ross didn't hate on Meek Mill. He didn't hate on Wale. He let them grow. But Jay-Z, he was keeping, I'll get there. Jay-Z was keeping motherfuckers like he didn't want Benny Siegel to be better than him. And bar for bar, Benny was a better rapper. Now, it's different between bar for bar making songs. Bar for bar, Cassidy's probably in the top 10 percentile rappers of all time. But songwriting and making songs is a totally different, that's something that Jay-Z has mastered. Jay-Z can write you a song and probably go to the top 5, top 10. He mastered songwriting. So it's just certain dudes that you shouldn't sign to. Jeezy signed a lot of guys, Doughboy Cash Out, Freddie Gibbs, that didn't do much. Gucci Mane is probably a better guy to be signed to than Jay-Z. You look at who Gucci produced. I mean, Nicki Minaj, even though Lil Wayne get money, but she got her start with Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, OJ the Juice Man. Yo Gotti did a lot of shit with Gucci Mane early on. Dolph got his start. He got his commercial break with Gucci Mane. They did a song on a mixtape before. So Gucci Mane has spawned more rappers that pretty much succeeded him, but he don't get credit. Real talk. But people don't look at it like that. Lil Wayne has spawned some really good people. I mean, he really shouldn't get credit for Nicki, but, signing Drake. Tiger, people don't know. Tiger got a couple, hot hits. And you just keep going on and on. A lot of guys that he had come through there. You know what I'm saying? So Lil Wayne wasn't one of those dudes that hated that if you passed him. You know what I'm saying? The only hater over there was Birdman. And he's starting to understand that he was wrong and he ain't gonna find happiness. He paid Juvie to come back and that was smart. When BG get out, he got to hit him with a bag and apologize. He see Young Thug and Gucci under Young Thug and Amigos under Gucci as well. A lot of them dudes got their start from Soulja Boy too. Soulja Boy was another artist that gave dudes a lot of start. But back to Buck, $100 grand on your catalog, that ain't bad. And to be honest, he probably got the best catalog going right now out of G Unit. Lloyd Banks had really one good album. Buck got a few like mixtapes that really done well in the Nashville street level. So I know he happy that's over and done with, bro. 50 just miserable. You know what I'm saying? T Grizzly had Sada Baby and he just let him walk. That's what people do. I'm about to hold you up. RZA did the same shit to every member of Wu-Tang. To get out their Wu-Tang contract, and they had to promise him that he still owned everything that's Wu-Tang. And he let them go solo. And they still had to go to litigation. Long litigation. So ain't too many people gonna do what T Grizzly did for Sada Baby and just let him go. Like, man, fuck the bullshit. Let him go. He ain't happy here. Go ahead and be great somewhere else. Andre Harrell, rest in power to him and Lil Richard. People don't even know the Lil Richard story. You know what I'm saying? How James Brown used to go around Georgia, pretending to be Lil Richard until Lil Richard caught up with him and gave him some game. And they both took off. Andre Harrell, Diddy was mad at him, or Puffy at the time was mad at him because he released him from Uptown. But right before he died, I found the interview of Andre Harrell saying that he released Puffy from Uptown because he had to let him spread his wings to be great. He said he wasn't going to pretty much oppress him from being what he was going to become. But at the time, Puffy didn't understand, his freedom, his emancipation from Uptown. He said that I knew that Biggie, they didn't think at Uptown Biggie was gonna make it. Who Uptown had Christopher Williams. They had somebody that loves me for Heavy D. They was more in the crossover soft rap. They wasn't into street rap. Gangster rap was a West Coast thing. It started in Philly with Schoolie D, but Ice-T made it a West Coast thing. So that they wasn't feeling, Biggie at Uptown. So he said he knew he had something special with that. Puff was gonna have to make a way for Biggie himself. So he cut Puff away, and Puff took it as disrespect. And sometimes with dudes, you growing up with a teenage kid, and sometimes you got to kick them out the house for them to get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? So Andre Harrell did, rest in peace to him, rest in power. He kicked Puff out to get it out the mud. He said if I hadn't kicked Puff out, he wouldn't have found his way. And what Puff do? Went down to Howard. He pumped Biggie, party and bullshit, and they made that shit jump. He put on Juicy to kind of soften him up, but Biggie still had his tracks of gangster shit. On Ready to Die, he still had Everyday Struggle. He still had those songs, Suicidal Thoughts. This for my Triple B niggas. He still on Life After Death had his, he had his crossover songs and Hypnotize and Big. He had all that, but then he still had the What's Beef, the 10 Crack Commandments. They made a nice blend. And if Puffy was on Uptown, they would have tried to turn Biggie into the Brooklyn Heavy D, and that wasn't what Biggie was about. And without Andre Harrell kicking him out the house, Puffy never would have became what he was at Bad Boy. And that kind of was the Dame Dash situation, where Dame Dash wanted to create bosses. He didn't want to create niggas that'd be below him, workers. And Jay-Z wanted to create workers. That's where Dame and Jay was different at. Dame wanted you to get out there and spread your wings. Jay-Z wanted you to be Memphis Bleak and need me to put food in your bowl to survive. And that's no disrespect to Memphis. That was Jay-Z's son, basically. You know what I'm saying? And he gave Memphis Bleak the truth test. I remember listening to him say that he was watching Jay apartment and he said Jay had one drawer was full of ones, another drawer was full of 20s, another drawer was full of all hundreds. And he told Jay he needed to borrow some money while I was outside. He said, take 100. And he said, I know how much money I left. And Memphis Bleak didn't take no more than 100 out that draw. And he won Jay-Z. That's why Jay-Z take care of him, because he loyal. You know what I'm saying? Memphis Bleak was like what Lil C's was to Biggie. And he was loyal. He wasn't a thief. He was a good kid in my 50 Cent voice. He was a good kid. So you got some people that want to see you be on top. Some people that, and 50 just one of those dudes in hindsight. The game was the smartest one. Use the motherfucker for, a lot of those songs he said he recorded, West Side Story, This Is How We, that one, Hate It or Love It, that was going on the Massacre. You put them 3 songs on the Massacre is an undeniable classic. Take Disco Inferno off. You take a couple of them, Candy Shop off, Piggy Bank off. You know what I'm saying? You telling me rider music, position of power, this is how we do it. But then again, the game brought something to the album as well, to the songs as well. But he was able to put those 3 songs on the Massacre and take 3 of the songs that just made it it took it from being a classic. A little bit, I'll take you to that just made it not a hip hop classic, bro. That was just gave it a commercial. It gave a Massacre too much of a commercial appeal. Get Rich or Die Trying was a street nigga album, but it had commercial success. The second album, he was trying to recreate what he got with 21 Questions and what Ja Rule was doing. He tried to forcefully do that. All he had to do was keep making shit like he was just looking for a radio hit. That's what it was. A crossover radio hit that was gonna play on the pop station. Instead of recreating, PIMP, Mini Man, in the club, he tried to recreate off of 21 Questions. And he just seen the response that got in it. And it took away from the Massacre. The Massacre had a lot of good shit on it, but it took away from the Massacre. It took away its classic mystique. It made it a immortal album. Get Rush or Die Trying was immortal. The Massacre should have been immortal. He said in Queens, Disco Inferno was ringing off Jamaica Ave. Trust me, but that just took it away. I don't like that song. It just made it 50 was hot. If 50 would have just breathed on the track like Pootie Tang, it would have went. It would have been fire. It would have been fire. But what he did in the mixtape game and what he did in the mixtape game and what he did in the motherfucking Power of a Dollar, what he did with and Get Rich or Die Trying, it's just the radio singles. Piggy Bank was awful. Let's keep it real. Piggy Bank was awful. Candy Shop was awful. This Inferno, it had some 1, 2. It was cool. It was cool. But Rider Music was better. Position of Power was better. Tell me I'm lying. You tell me you take Disco Inferno off that album. You take motherfucking Candy Shop off the album, replace it with This How We Do, and you replace it with Hater to Love It. That's instantly, he probably got the 2 first best albums of all time. He probably got the 2 best first. He probably got the best first two albums. You put him up there with Biggie. He got the best first 2 albums of all time, damn near, in most people's opinion. Note that he got 2 undeniable 5 mic albums out the gate. Like legit 5 mic. L5 player. Legit. But he sacrificed that for the game because Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine asked him to. And 50 say, I sacrificed before and I got bit in the ass. I'm not doing it no more. But the game was smart. He got in and got out. He did what he had to do. And DMX first 2 out cold. Same year. You know what I'm saying? Same year. But he did what he had to do, and, the game was the smarter one. He had to battle all 3 of them. I mean, he had to battle with the Locks and all that shit too. But, G-Unit didn't have a follow-up album. You know what I'm saying? They had great mixtapes going at other crews. They didn't have a follow-up album. They should have, because the first one was out cold. Buck didn't have a follow-up album. It was out cold. Banks didn't have a follow-up. He had a follow-up album. It wasn't that good, but it should have been better. Tony Ayo didn't have a follow-up single. It was pretty good for Tony Ayo. So seductive. That video was crazy. Same thing with Jeezy. You can make a lot of correlations with Jeezy. The USDA album was like one of the best albums. That's a classic project in my opinion. It's not a bad song on that album. But Blood Raw, he had My Louis Bag. He didn't have nothing else to follow up that. Slick Pillar never followed up with nothing else. Jeezy just succeeded. You know what I'm saying? It just succeeded. It just was no more. And when I say follow up, it was no commercial appeal. That's what I'm talking about. The game proved with his next album that he can make it without 50. He established himself. Without 50, would he have been the artist that he was? Probably not. But he proved to still be a good artist without 50. He had a lot of good shit, man. A lot of good shit. But with Buck, he free. He can work who he want to work with. He own his catalog. He can do features without being blocked. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what he do. But Full Feet was crazy, bro. And hopefully he can put a lot more of those albums back up, man. Because to be honest, Buck is very, very talented, bro. He's more talented than I gave him credit for. It's a lot of rappers out there that got the talent, but, he said he free. He out of jail. He was in jail. His court date was supposed to be May 7th. The coronavirus, he got free. I think he had abandoned a kid warrant or something like that. So, they was holding him in jail. He sounded like he coronavirus free, so he out. And I think they got pulled over in a pickup truck because they were smoking weed. And, you go down south, they still treat marijuana. When I was down there, they treated marijuana like crack cocaine. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. So, that's kind of, funny to see as marijuana evolves and it becomes legal in more states. I want to know when it becomes legal in the South, what they going to do? You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the ways, driver's license and marijuana in the South, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the ways that they bam them dudes down there. They bam them down there. I remember when I was in college, they were serving marijuana in the napkins. I don't smoke though. It's just never been something I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again, when I was in college, I experimented. In high school, I never did it. But it just wasn't for me. That's just I'm knocking nobody that smoke, but a lot of people that smoke, you could tell in their face, it age them. And a lot of people think it do more help than harm, but it just aids you a lot. Girls' lips be looking like they about to fall off the motherfucking they face, crispy as hell. It just never been my thing. The smoke. But let's talk about Jay-Z, right? I was talking to Town about this shit. And, you know, a lot of people think Jay-Z might have bailed out of the Rock Nation deal with Tekashi Snitch 9 because of the backlash. And Busy Bone said something about it. I mean, Meek Mill, his own artist, said something about it. So it was a lot of backlash coming. And a lot of people think Jay-Z bailed out of it because of the backlash. And, you know, maybe he put a tester out there. You know what I'm saying? He put a tester out there like, yeah, just say I signed Tekashi Snitch 9 and see what happened. And I do think Jay-Z bailed out the deal. I think he wanted to sign him, but real hip-hop niggas like Busy Bone and, you know what I'm saying, I think Yuck Mouth has something to say about it. Snoop has something to say about it. They wasn't going to let this man live it down. DMX probably would have came out and said something about it. Anybody, and Jay-Z, man, people, know they say great artist, you know, but he just makes some questionable moves out there. For that to even be out there, you know, that should have been killed the minute that it was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tekashi to Rock Nation, Jay-Z should have hopped on the gram and said no. And all these questionable moves that he making, Beyonce ain't said shit. I don't even think the broad didn't drop the album. You know, she did the thing with Megan Thee Stallion and all that type of stuff. But all the questionable things that she been doing, that Jay-Z been doing, she really been silent. You know what I'm saying? She has been, like, silent. Jay-Z has been an introvert because he know he wrong. They stabbed Kaepernick in the back. Let's just keep it real. He did. He stabbed Jermaine Dupri in the back. Let's keep it real. Even the Jermaine Dupri said what he said. He stabbed him in the back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think the legends would have let him get away with it. He signed to Griselda, and they probably the hottest rap group in my opinion out. Just for people that like lyricism. You know, if you like the Migos, I like them too. They cool. But as far as, you know, real hip-hop and sounding like New York, it ain't a nigga that grew up in the 90s and the 80s or grew up off that music that don't like Griselda compared to what's here today. Conway, Benny the Butcher, the whole West Side Gun, them niggas is dope. You know, I would love to get an interview with them. That's an interview I would do, you know, because they sound like New York. You know, they from Buffalo, but they got that MO. They just got that, like, I get a good vibe from their music. He just got too many people he affiliated with, from Alicia Keys and what her and Swiss Beats trying to do for the community and what they doing with Versus, and he affiliated with Timberland. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre spoke out against it, I heard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Coffee salute. He said, I never listened to Griselda. All three of them niggas dope. You know, I'm gonna listen to that Paris album that he dropped. I listened to his single, West Side. That nigga dope. Conway, I've been heard it. Conway, Benny, all them niggas dope. As a group and as individuals, I think some of them signed shady. You know what I'm saying? I think Benny Butcher signed. They all dope. Kind of when she was dropping another EP tonight. I'm gonna check that out. They dope as fuck. They ain't for like niggas that want to go to the club and put an E-pill on and then no, they just like you listen to Nas, you listen to Jay, they kind of in that category. You know what I'm saying? You know they kind of in that category, lyricism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I heard that. We talked about that last time, Easy Baby. But to go on about Jay-Z, I think public backlash. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was public backlash. I think it was OG backlash. I don't think you can respect Jay-Z with making that move. That was a death blow to his career. Real talk. Even with the informant on there, he said they signed the M but managed by Rock Nation. Makes sense. DeMario Love salute. Jay-Z is taking Al Heyman fucking blueprint. He managing people now, and he not like promoting them. Or in a record label. He not their record label. Al Heyman just made a whole. He took his blueprint. I guarantee you, Jay-Z did. They got beef, but it's another story for another day. But with Jay, I just think all the dudes held him accountable. And for T.I. calling people and saying like T.I. just ain't got no more respect for him. For Jay not signing him just off the rip, I can respect Jay for bailing out for that. But Jay is a snake. From Dame to Beanie to Jermaine Dupri to Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell, Sumter, salute, DeMario, what's going on? You can tell when somebody did do some hoe ass shit. Because they don't talk that much. They don't say much. And when they do talk like Jay-Z talk, when Charlamagne the guy was asking questions or whatever, he sounds so defensive. He always on the defense. And then when your lady, who's one of the most successful females, you know, in our time in history, entertainment wise, and she not speaking and saying nothing. He not saying nothing. She not saying nothing. She ain't dropped an album. She ain't did a seminar. She ain't hopped on an IG live. You know, maybe she busy booing her mom, but I call bullshit. That whole NFL thing, she was quiet as a church mouse on Sunday before the choir started singing. They know they, and when he talk, he always in defense. Defense mode. You know he wrong. You know what I'm saying? If he signed that dude, I was done with that man. Like legitimately, all the music was gone. I wasn't fucking with him no more. Love Meek, love a lot of the artists that he managed and got on his nation with the Rock Nation, but I wasn't fucking with him no more. You know what I'm saying? Snoop, Dr. Dre, anybody that spoke up against that shit, man. Yuck Mouth. All these people that spoke up, man, great. But then for every dude that spoke up, it was some other weak motherfucker like Whack 100 trying to motherfucker rationalize it. You know, he talk all this gangster shit, but we businessmen. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. Your artist still a Crip. You know what I'm saying? Blueface still a Crip. How you businessman and you still messing with niggas that's still a gang affiliated? You still talking gang shit, and then the minute you want to switch over and talk music shit and talk business, no, I mean you can't have your foot in the streets and your foot in the business. What Puff say? He said, man, I ain't in the street. My business is, I'm street, but my business ain't in the street. And that's the crazy thing to me. He said 6ix9ine's ear is real close to Marcy. All that Marcy shit is probably gone, bro. Jay-Z don't give a fuck about him. He let him gentrify Brooklyn. If he got so much power, why didn't he stop that? Akon too, bro. And trying to rationalize that shit. But you just gotta wonder, man, if Bobby Smurder was in the position that 6ix9ine was in, would they have put him on the pedestal? Absolutely not. Who Bobby Smurder snitched on? What motherfucking ain't never dry snitched in their records, man? Listen to what Jay-Z said. So we know Jay-Z bailed because of the backlash. This was something that he wasn't coming back from. Real talk. It's just something he wasn't going to be able to come. He can come back from the NFL shit. You know, and then he was it was something that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Giving money is something he was just doing about one of the things that happened. And that was going to try to be his cover up. Jay-Z trying to cover for everything that he do, man. And niggas wasn't having this one. I'll tell you that right now. If I had to, I'd make a diss Jay-Z video every day. Care what the fuck he would have done. You know? He did real time and worse in Rikers Island. And Jay-Z was supposed to be getting Rikers Island shut down, and it ain't even shut down yet. One of the worst penitentiaries out there. You know, he had to bail from that deal, bro. They had a deal in place to sign that man. I'm telling you, Jay-Z bailed from the backlash. And now that motherfucker walking on eggshells. He walking on eggshells. Because he moved again. Ain't shit cool about that shit? Ain't nothing cool about, you know, moving around, going place to place and stuff of that nature, bro. But it's crazy. He said Jay a bitch regardless for thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you garbage. Even Rock Nation is his legacy. He that NFL move should have been. We should have ended him after that. And I apologize trying to defend that shit. I truly thought he was gonna get Kaepernick up in that motherfucker. And what he do? Try to stab him in the back. But money is over everything. But let's talk about Drake top 5, and we kind of get into a Q&A. He said Biggie, Hove, Wayne, Young Tony, and 3000. So he commented that on Instagram. He said my top 5 is Biggie, Hove, Wayne, Young Tony, and 3000. Now I don't know who Young Tony is. Probably a Canadian rapper that had an influence over him. But personally, most of them ain't even in mine. Wayne ain't even in my top 20. Like I said before, but he that's his man's, and you know, I get it. Young Tony, I mean, I guess that's some Canadian shit. 3000, like he definitely ain't in my top 10. I like Andre. I mean, a lot of times I thought Big Boy used to out rap him sometimes, but you know, people just so enamored with 3000. But you know, great producer, great rapper, but he can be somewhere in my top 20. But Hove, yeah, he like 4 of my top 5, and Biggie is like number 1 or 2 next to Tupac 1. Lil Wayne, I don't know who the fuck Young Tony is, but you know, I guess that's who he. It says that from what we can gather, Young Tony is an OVO Hush, a Toronto rapper that Drake shouts out before in his tracks. It said Neeks got the weed, Hush got a gun, Drake rapped in the Thank Me for Later track, Miss Me. So there are also been rumors that Young Tony OVO Hush is Drake's ghostwriter. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? He said he wrote Big Boy shit. Maybe he did at one point. I'm not sure. But I mean, I guess that's where you got Young Tony as the ghostwriter. 3000 he's nowhere near close number 1. He's nice. You know what I'm saying? But he's nowhere close to number 1. When you talking about a top 5, it's not subjective. It's your body of work. He don't have a body of work. His body of work is attached to Big Boy. You know what I'm saying? I think they're the best duo that I heard in my lifetime. But when you talking about individual, he got to come out with an individual project. He had the Love Below a speaker box. He wasn't rapping all over that. You know what I'm saying? He was singing, hey, uh-oh. You know, he was singing on that shit. Now you talking about, you know, Southern Playalistic, you know, that Andre 3000 and AT Alien, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, Bombs Over Bagdog, he was spitting back then. That motherfucker was spitting back then. He was rapping back then, but like I said before, can't no motherfucker be in my top 10 using somebody else's pen. Prototype. I love Prototype. I listen to that shit all the time. But can't nobody be in my top 10 that don't write all they shit. And Wayne don't write all this shit. Bruce Salute. You know, he didn't write all this shit. You know, even Jay-Z stole some people's shit, but you know what? We just gonna ignore that for right now. You know, I don't know who Young Tony is, but he might be responsible for some of the things Drake wrote. And 3000 just don't have a solo project. But amazing rapper, one of my favorites. My favorite rap duo of all time is him and Andre. I mean, him and Big Boy. I ain't taking nothing away from him, but it's all subjective. Some people top 10, top 5 might be NBA Youngboy, and some people shit might be KRS-One, and you know, some people might have Ice-T in there. You know what I'm saying? You know, the pioneers of rapping, and it depends. If you just looking for hits and you don't care about penmanship, your top 5 gonna be different. Remember, Chris Rock had the top 5 movie. You know, do you think hell no, Kanye ain't top? He don't write. Kanye don't write. Why do people ignore that, bro? Kanye don't write. Not all his music. People forget that. That's why Kanye and Drake continue to sound different. First he sound like Rhyme Fest. Then he sound like Cudi. Then he sound like Travis Scott. Then whoever the fuck writing this shit right now, he sound like him. That's why Kanye is able to continue to evolve. I put him where you put Dr. Dre, Swiss Beats, Puffy. He in that category. You know what I'm saying? And if you just care about the album and you don't care about who wrote it, like, you can't put that motherfucker up there with Jadakiss and Hove and Eminem and DMX and, Biggie and Pac. You can't put, that's unfair. You know what I'm saying? That's like giving a nigga the answers to the test and then telling somebody else to pass the test without the answers. Riding with a motherfucking strap on side of me. Yeah, Spice One hella underrated. Kanye West can't be in that category, bro. You know what I'm saying? And to a certain point, like Lil Wayne, like this nigga, like Gilly the Kid is responsible for his resurgence. He can't be up there. You know what I'm saying? Gilly the Kid, when you put Wayne there, you gotta put Gilly the Kid there. He sat there and lied and said, I don't write, I just go on top. Kendrick is getting there. He got 3-5 mics out the gate. That's crazy. Out the gate. It's a lot of dudes that get overlooked. Scarface, Too Short. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg got his Doggy Style is better than anything Jay-Z has ever done. Doggy Style is probably the most influential album of all time in rap, especially for the West Coast. People forget about Ice Cube. Ice Cube, man, who gives a fuck about a bitch? Fuck her. He was surprised. He wrote for Easy. You know what I'm saying? He was the motherfucking the first NWA album. He was that first album. They fall apart when he left, when Ren took over the writing and DOC crossed this motherfucking shit. He said Jay had some fire. It ain't nothing better than Doggy Style. I'll tell you that right now. Nothing better than Doggy Style that he done did. Go check out Doggy Style, bro. You got the feel, dun, dun, dun. That whole chant, the dramatics on that motherfucker, nothing he done was better than that. There's a lot of rappers that's gay. You know what I'm saying? Reasonable Doubt wasn't no fucking classic album until Biggie and motherfucking Tupac Shakur was dead and 6 feet deep. Niggas went back and rewound that album. This nigga made a Pac diss song and nobody listened to it. Let that sit in for a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's just keeping it real. When Pac and Biggie was alive, he was I placed Jay above Nas above Jay. I placed him at 4. Now what I say? Big, Pac 1 and 2. Even to me, I probably give Pac the edge. And 3 for me is Nas, and 4 is Jay, and 5 is Rakim. Nas got probably the greatest rap album of all time. And don't forget, 94, Ready to Die dropped the same time as the same year as Illmatic dropped. And Nas had the album of the year. I mean, that's the timeless album, Illmatic. People look for the radio hits, that production, the wordplay, he was in his bag on that album. People said, well, it was written better. People like it was written better because it's commercial. But you listen to Illmatic, man. It's perfect storytelling. Perfect. It was raw. It was rugged, but it still was. It was major. It doesn't make any sound. It may make any sense. It was major. Everything you do for me to make my top 5 or 10, it ain't gotta be commercial. Nah, I'm done for the week, Easy Baby. I'm done. Majority of Hollywood is Fruitcake Tree. Yeah. So I mean, it depends. Some people from the South gonna say, Scarface, he in my top 10. Some people gonna say, Pimp C. It's all subjective to, what you grew up on and what you went on. Ice Cube and LL Cool J in my top 10. Just my personal opinion on it. DMX creeping somewhere in the 10 to 15 range for me. Subjective. It Was Real was not commercial. Yes, it had commercial success. If I Rule the World, he didn't mean it to be commercial, but he had commercial success. You can hate me anytime you got Puff saying, take that. It's commercial, my nigga. He had a lot of songs on it that wasn't, but he had a commercial appeal due to the first 2 singles on that album. What do you rate Juvenile? Oh, that's classic for me. That's a classic. I mean, I don't know where I put that in amongst the albums. That's hard to tell because I like a lot of albums. But that's when I go back and I still listen to G Code. I'm a bake a cake, nigga. That was my song on that bitch. Rakim don't even think he's the best. I mean, he just being modest, but I like him. Juvenile, he had some good... BG and all of them had some good albums. Them Hot Boy albums was dope. He said, I don't like it was written. Well, some people love it. Some people, it's okay. But nah, I just think that Nas is more of a better writer. And don't forget, Jay-Z, I'm out for president. That's Nas. J. Cole, I like J. Cole, but it's hard for me to place current rappers. I don't really rate them. But I do like Kendrick. I prefer Kendrick. Y'all keep asking questions. Kodak, I don't really listen to him, but I like the song he did with Bruno and Gucci. But he got some. I see why people like him. You know, he got some type of appeal. He got that Florida accent. You know, I see why people like him, but it's just not my genre. But I will give him a listen before I listen to NBA YoungBoy. Just tell you that right now. It's no offense to NBA YoungBoy. It's just that I don't know. Kodak kind of got his own sound. Kodak got his own sound. I can respect that. You need Jesus, please. I need Jesus. You know, I'll give him a try. If you ask me, you could keep asking questions. If you ask me the people that I do like in this era, it's probably gonna be Future. It's probably I tolerate Drake. I think Drake's best album was Take Care, but like I said, I don't listen to all this shit. But Take Care is the album that I like the best out of Drake that I heard. But Nothing Was the Same was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? But as far as a rap classic, he has none in my book. Until that nigga rapped for 10 or 12, 15 straight tracks. You know, Drake came over and immediately he came into rap trying to cross over. Remember he had the song with Trey Songz? He came in trying to cross over. He wasn't trying to put no real rap album together. You know, Jay-Z gave you a rap album. Nas gave you a rap album. You know what I'm saying? That nigga wasn't trying to rap for shit. He was just trying to go straight commercial. Oh, Take K, yeah, he has some potential. Who your number one lyricist from Detroit? That's tough. That's tough. I mean, you got a lot of dudes. You got Big Hurt. You got Blade Icewood. Hurt was probably the more naturally gifted rapper, though, that I heard out of Detroit. You know, he was more naturally gifted. What about Drake, but not pen writing? We know he don't write. He's more of an entertainer than rapper. You know, I like Future because Future is an innovator. And his shit is legitimately him. It ain't sound like nobody else. It ain't come from nobody else to my knowledge. It's him. He got more influence over rap than Drake did. Demario Love, appreciate the super chat. Haha, true story. He got more influence over rap than Future is the most influential rapper of last decade. Let me say that. Future is the most influential. And don't forget, he write R&B songs too. He wrote some shit for Sierra. I really wasn't into this. I had never heard of D12, real talk, on the street level. You know, like Big Sean. I had never heard of Big Sean on the street level. But influential, Future is the most influential artist of the last decade. So many people, I ain't never heard of motherfucker. Look here, man. I heard a lot of dudes. I heard a lot of motherfuckers. But I've never heard a motherfucker where I thought that was his song. Designer, I swore for a month or two listening to that song, I thought that it was his. I thought that was Future. Panda, smurr. Future got some dope shit. I ain't even gonna lie. In the crib, in the club, I gotta give him his credit. He said he can't rap, but he is one of the best producers. Man, that nigga be having me going. I fuck with his style, bro. You know, it's original. That's why I probably like it the most. It's truly original. And I think a lot of times dudes that rap fast like him or Lazy, Busy, Wish, Twista, Eminem, anybody that kind of rap fast, I think a lot of times lyrically it go over motherfuckers' heads. You know, Future talk shit. Eminem is the biggest artist as far as what? Biggest artist as far as what? He not influential. You can't be influential if you didn't create a style. Eminem just kind of combined the Midwest tongue twister with Reggie Noble, known as Redman. He is more than Drake. Drake can't be influential in rap if he don't write his raps. That's just my opinion on it. You can't be influential if somebody else responsible for your pen. And you can't be influential, you know what I'm saying? He didn't. What did Drake innovate? Making ghostwriting acceptable. You know what I'm saying? He stole Kurt Cobain's little Houston little shit. He went Caribbean. I'm just keeping it real. When you talking about influential, I'm not saying that he better than Eminem. When you say influential, you know how many artists try to rap and dress like Future? That's what I'm talking about. Designer. Fetty Wap had a whole Future outfit on. Not saying that he better than Drake. I mean, he's just more influential. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to make this an Eminem stream. He more influential. Eminem, he really couldn't influence nobody. Who could he influence? Who was rapping about killing their mom and nobody? Just keeping it real. Who was he influence? What nigga came out here trying to dress like Eminem? None. You couldn't be Eminem. You couldn't rap like Eminem. You couldn't put bars together like Eminem. Even if you tried to be Eminem, nobody ever tried to emulate Eminem because it's impossible. It's too upper echelon. His style is too complex. How am I hating? His style is too complex. It's a mix of the Midwest, spitters, Tech Nine and motherfucking Twister and the Bone Thugs. And it's a mix of that, of being the work. And then Reggie Noble, he sound like all of them. That's a complex style to get. Go listen to Redman. You won't hear a lot of influence of Marshall Mathers there. Listen to Muddy Waters. You're just keeping it real. Hobsons, you could put all those dudes in that category. But Eminem took that style and popularized it. And he took it to and he put Reggie Noble style. I mean, him, Keith Murray, and just the whole Midwest, they got that same kind of style. They got that same style. Redman is one of the most underrated artists of all time. Keith Murray, underrated. First two, crazy. Kind of sound like them. It's just, a lot of people probably argue me and never heard Redman before for real. Dressed in all black, similar to the new PlayStation 2. That's all. Come on, Redman been dope a long time. Him and Meth had a great motherfucking balance. He is. He did. He that's why he got Redman in his top 5. He got Redman in his top 5. Why you think Reggie Noble in his top 5? That's who Redman is. Fetty Wap doing production now. He's in production. You know what I'm saying? Eminem, he didn't create that style. That style had been here. Twister had already do it. Do you wanna ride? Twister had already been there. Bone Thugs had already been there, done that. And there's plenty of artists in Detroit that was already doing that. He perfected it. It's cool. Ice-T didn't create gangster rap. Schoolie D did. He brought it to the West. Ice Cube perfected it. Snoop Dogg, he continued to perfect it. Dash, Corrupt, they continued to perfect it. Snoop Dogg took it to another level. Warren G took it to it's no just because you didn't create it don't mean you couldn't perfect it. If it all came down to creating it, whoever created rap, it's subjective about that. A lot of people say it wasn't a Sugar Hill Gang. It was just the first one to go commercial with it. But at the same time, it ain't about who created it. It's who did it the best. It's okay. Eminem fans getting their panties. He's a dope artist. Let's give him credit where credit is due. But he didn't create that style. He not more influential because to be influential, it kind of got to be easy to do. Who was the first rap deucer? You probably looking at Dr. Dre. You probably like legit rap deucer. Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, they came out the same time. That ain't an easy thing to do. Puff. Swiss had an album that was pretty dope. I was surprised how good the album was. It's okay. DJ Kool Herc, that's another guy that's in the conversation that created rap. He said, I heard the Detroit style be national. Yeah, shout out to Helliver, bro. Maybe we can get him on. I'll reach out to him. He got a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? It depends. Everybody, Jermaine Dupri. Yeah, Jermaine Dupri was more than a rap deucer. He was a right deucer. He wrote shit. People forget he wrote Confessions. If I had to put two more people in two rappers in the songwriting Hall of Fame other than Jay-Z, it'd be Ice Cube and Jermaine Dupri. Songwriters. Easily. They belong. Jermaine Dupri catalog of He wrote crisscross shit. People forget that. He found them in the mall. All the girls thought they was cool. He turned them into rappers. All that jump, and tonight, all that was him. Jermaine Dupri, one of the most disrespected legends of all time. This motherfucker gave us a timeless classic in Confessions. He gave us the first platinum female album in the Brat. Functified. So functified. Da 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 da. Do that shit was dope. They was going back to back. That was dope back to back. He wrote We Belong Together for Mara. His discovery is crazy. And when niggas say, oh, he don't belong in a versus battle, are you fucking retarded? Let's not forget Usher Confession written in top. Yes, I just said that, Big J. Carly by JD. Crazy. Just the niggas be hating on him. But it's just that hate for the South, bro. I never understood it. I embraced it. Do I think they fucked up rap? Absolutely. But it ain't the pioneers' fault. Pimp C, 3-6, Bun B, 8-Ball, MJG. I mean, you keep going on and on the niggas I listen to. To this day, I still listen to Dolph. I listen to Gucci. I listen to Gotti. Man, the South is just where it's at. Especially the old South. When Swishahouse went national with Mike Jones' first shit was dope. Chameleonaire first, Sound of Revenge. I still got Sound of Revenge. Slim Thug first album was dope. You just keep going on and on. The motherfuckers just disrespect a lot of niggas from the South, bro. You know, Jay Electronica, he wrote some shit for Puff. I believe in a lot of different guys. So you just, you know, they still disrespect the West Coast rappers. Too Short, E40. We was just talking about a Spice One. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going on and on. Like I said, Snoop Dogg got one of the most influential albums. You know what I'm saying? And then if you say, oh no, well, he got the Chronic. He was all over the Chronic, him and DOC. Snoop Dogg, you know, Ice Cube put the West Coast on with Quick and them, and then Snoop took it to another level with Dre. And then when Pac really made, and people say, well, Pac was West Coast. A lot of niggas leave Pac out their top 5 because niggas is East Coast biased, but every album that came up to All Eyes on Me was sound like an East Coast album. Even though he was running with Humpty Dumpty and them niggas, his music still sound like he was from the East Coast. Until you put Daz on the production and a little bit of Dre, then he sound like a West Coast artist. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people base Tupac shit on like All Eyes on Me, Don Machiavelli, 7 Day Theory. But his best shit was the first 2. Tupacalypse and Strictly for My Niggas. You can't keep the black man trap you. That was like the best shit. Activist Pac was the best one because he made conscious rap cool. He commercialized it. Brenda Got a Baby, and you know, you keep going on with My Homies Call, and he commercialized that. And then All Eyes on Me, then Me Against the World took off because he was in jail and it was dope. He did all that shit before he was 25. Crazy, right? And don't forget, he had, you know, Volume 1. He had, you know, he was helping on the Above the Rim soundtrack and shit like that. Man, it was just crazy. Pac was just a different animal. He had songs coming out into the 2000s. His work ethic was so strong. The Game has a top 5 discovery. West Coast, that's tough because Kendrick coming. You know what I'm saying? Snoop there. Cube there. You know what I'm saying? Them 3 there for sure. You know what I'm saying? If you talking about the whole West Coast, there's a lot of different guys, you know. But The Game, he close. He up there. He up there. You know, for a long time between The Game and Kendrick, wasn't nothing there. They tried Nocturnal. You know what I'm saying? Just wasn't nothing there. And out of West, you know, they got some motherfuckers coming through. Roddy Ricch, you know, YG, I've been following him since he's been running with Jeezy. You know, you got a lot of other guys that done some good shit too, just not on a commercial level. Quick. Even though he more of a rap deucer. You know, Dr. Dre, you know, if you want to put him up there, his 3 was out cold. You know, especially if you account what he did with NWA. You know what I'm saying? His shit was out cold because that Compton soundtrack was dope. Anderson .Paak, that's where he was made at. And Anderson .Paak, a dope little soul, R&B, whatever the fuck you call what he do, that shit dope. Mac 10, that was Mac 10. I mean, You go to the West Side Connection shit, they was going crazy. Doom, 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 ba. They was going crazy. Oh, Manny Fresh definitely was dope. Soulja Slim, BG. So Cali had a lot of motherfuckers that just didn't get their recognition, man. Rapping Forte was a nigga that just can't stay out of jail. He had my favorite. He was my favorite feature on All Eyes on Me. You know what I'm saying? You just keep going on and on. The West Coast had a lot of artists just that, they wasn't syndicated. A lot of the West Coast artists wasn't on the East Coast. They weren't playing that shit. New York, city of dreams, kicking down their buildings and shit, man. Warren G probably got the greatest rap song of all time. Doom, 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 doom. That shit was dope. It was a clear black night. Yeah, that shit was dope. You talking about Summertime with Will Smith, Rakim? They just Angela Yee just put an interview up from the Breakfast Club from a while ago where Rakim said that Will Smith stole his flow on that song. And you ain't lying. He did. And I just seen Bad Boys for Life. Oh, Compton's Most Wanted, MC8. I just seen that shit today. That shit was shockingly good as fuck. When I wait for my girl to go when I wait for her to go see a movie, I'm go see it. I like to go to movies early. I ain't got to be there with a lot of people and it's cheap. Remember Domino? Oh, yeah. I got to get my hand on the sweet potato pie. Put some simple, what do you say? Put some simple ass shit, even though it ain't guess. The Ghetto Jam, a lot of niggas didn't like that. I work with one nigga. He hated that. He hated that nigga and Warren G. But, Line Killer salute. But Domino had two motherfucking shits that went crazy. He had the Ghetto Jam. They played that shit in Too Deep. Yeah, I still bang Domino a couple songs, bro. He was on, he has a radio show on, he had a radio show on Rock the Bells Radio on Sirius XM Satellite Radio. So, yeah, he got a lot of great stories, man. I like Dom Kennedy. What's that one song he had, bro? One song. He had another song, man. He was straight. He just, I don't know what he doing now, but he had a nice little vibe to it. West Coast Connection, the Dog Pound. I like both. What would you do? That was my shit, dog. I like them both. They too different, bro. They both was gangster, but West Side Connection was just raw. Them niggas was just... Dub C used to be talking some reckless shit, bro. That nigga was just reckless ass nigga. They so different. What was the number one song in the country at the time? What time? Will Smith got the best. I mean, you could say he got the best song ever. It's subjective. When you talking about timeless hip hop song, summertime, regulate. You really can't go wrong. And then you probably throw the G thing in there too. You really can't go wrong with either three of them. There's probably some other songs I ain't remembering. So them three probably the most timeless three out. I know I'm probably forgetting something else, but those was timeless. Summertime come on, you know what it is. Everybody know that fucking lyric. Everybody know that lyric. Will Smith used to go crazy before he kind of turned into... He said, no, Rakim didn't write it. He didn't write it. He said that he was just lying. He was just lying about that rumor because it's it sounded like he wrote. He said he didn't write Summertime. It was a rumor that Nas wrote Get Jiggy With It. He said he had a small little part of Get Jiggy With It. Rakim didn't write it. He said he didn't. Yeah, the Chronic was timeless, bro. The Chronic killed L.A. after the Rodney King riots. That was something that he been working on. The sampling on that album was crazy. Yeah, but he came out. Yeah, he came out and said it though. Yeah, it's an interview. He came out and said it. Go to Angela Yee's Facebook page. She been posting interviews all the time. It's on there. But yeah, the fucking Chronic was absolute timeless. That's my favorite hip hop album of all time. That's just timeless. Just brought back good memories. And nothing but good memories when the Chronic come. Every time I hear, the G thing, my favorite karaoke song is Let Me Ride. That shit, that beat, that energy, that old, Funkadelic, whatever. Them old samples that Dre had, he turned them motherfuckers out. Do me ride. Hell yeah. That was my shit, man. That old shit, bro. He was rapping his ass off on that whole album. DOC was lacing them together with track. Him and Snoop just went together so good, bro. Let Me ride, hell yeah. With the fucking heads cut off, motherfucking I'm Dre. So listen to the play by play. That whole shit just dope. Like Dre had a dope ass album. Snoop had a dope ass fucking Doggy Style was dope too, man. The dramatics, that shit was dope. You know, Lottie Dottie, that was a timeless album. Creeping. Now I'm backstreet on D's. I got my Glock caught for niggas trying to take these. That nigga choice. Yeah, I like 40 shit. My shit back in the day was is a cause I slave her. I wanna be sad. That whole if you ain't never seen that video, you have to see that video. You gonna watch it like 10 times. So that video and doom 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 don't save her. Don't with Pierre and that motherfucker. He was, I love her, man. I gotta go back there and get her. Doom 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 doom. They're my two funniest videos, bro. That shit was funny as hell. He said, man, I love her. Doom 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 doom. He said Chronicles was one of those last albums you could listen to front and not skip a song. Yeah, some other albums like that too. Kendrick's first album was like that. You ain't skip a motherfucking beat on that motherfucker. Regarding the West Coast, you ain't skip a song on that first one. Who do you have to win Battle Saturday? Oh, it's Saturday, Nelly. Oh, Ludacris, man. I'm a huge Ludacris fan, bro. All over Apple Music with Ludacris. Oh, Ludacris, easy. Bro. I'm a Ludacris fanatic. Word of mouth was it. Word of mouth. He has Lord Infamous 3-6. I think he had Juicy J on that album, bro. I-20, Move. He got so many fucking hits. What's Your Fantasy? He had shit off Chicken and Beer, Red Light District. I mean, he had shit off Too Fast, Too Furious. I got hoes in different area. Then you got motherfucking Throw Them Bows. Luda Discovery is fucking sick. Luda Discovery is fucking sick. That ain't even a fair matchup. Nelly got a lot. It's hot in here. I like Nelly too. He has a song Lil Wayne I like too. I forget the name of it. But Nelly was saying, if you want to come and get a ride with me, you know, Air Force Ones, it was cool. But Luda was just a wordsmith. Luda, I mean, he had shit with I forget the song, L song. He had a lot of different shit. Pound for pound. Dominant Member Saturday. I got a big weed stash, pocket full of cash, just seen a big go. Hey man, Luda could play his skits and probably beat most motherfuckers. Luda skits on Word of Mouth and Back for the First Time, bro. Them skits was funny as hell, bro. Real talk. Them skits he did was funny as hell. Had me fucking dying laughing, bro. Dying laughing. Luda, I'm a Luda fanatic, bro. Luda, one of my favorite artists of all time. Word of Mouth, one of my favorite albums of all time. You know, Nelly, I love Nelly. Some of the dudes don't like Nelly, but I love Nelly, man. When I was in my middle school prime, Nellyville, what does it take to be number one act? That was the shit too. Real talk. That Nellyville immortalized him. He didn't really do much after Nellyville though, that I can remember. But Nellyville immortalized him. You know what I'm saying? The first Country Grammar, we was okay. That shit hot, but no, Nellyville made him immortal. He only needed 2 to be immortal. Oh, Luda, yeah. Luda was definitely, remember he went at Tip? He said, man, you worth a couple thousand. He said, yeah, you worth a couple grand, 100 grand. He said, nigga, I worth millions. He said, I left this nigga, he helped my bitch. But I'm about to kill him when I get off work tonight, though. Don't save her. You ain't that was my mother. Doom, doom. That whole video was crazy. Doom, 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 doom. Don't save her. She don't. I was listening to Wu-Tang Triumphant too. When that shit come on, bro. When ODB talk his shit, that he said, I'm the Osiris of this shit, niggas and niggerettes. ODB's that be cracking up too, bro. I would love to see ODB and Luda do a skit. That shit would be funny as fuck. I remember being in Jamaica listening to Word of Mouth. That was the only CD I had and played until it. Man, you ain't lying. I had my Sony Walkman anti-skip. It came in like navy blue, and it came in like in like a highlighter yellow, green, yellow, highlighter green. Man, I had both of them. Joy, I played that shit till it broke. That's one of my favorite CDs. I had that CD, Kiss the Gang Goodbye is one I can remember. I used to buy rap CDs. You know, wasn't no computers then. You had to buy your CDs, man. I played the shit out of that CD out, like for real. That and Back for the first time, I played it out. But I got a skirt. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business question, inquiry, response to your video question. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal, description. Best way to donate is share the video. You can find me on all social media in the description, man. You can see it scrolling across the screen. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget, check out my boy from VA, brand new album, No Regrets by my boy Dame J. I'm telling you, like rap, you like real bars and classic hip-hop, great production, mixing and engineering, check his album out, No Regrets by my boy Dame J. It's on all streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Tidal, the whole nine. Don't forget, check out our sponsor, The Help Blaze, at thehelpblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow1Box get you 18% off the 100% off natural products from lotions, soaps, and everything else, bath bombs. Great Father's Day present, great late Mother's Day present. Check them out, black-owned business. Man, you ain't going to be mad. They take PayPal, debit, credit card, and they really, really good people over there. And then you can check out cell phone buyers, recyclers. You see the number on your screen. All the information in the description, website, social media. Share their social media on social media. Get the opportunity to get an iPhone. They buy phones. They buy iPhones. They want to buy them, give you cash for them. Hit that number up or hit them up on social media. And they're going to give you a price, and they're going to give you cash right for your phone. You know, so appreciate everybody for checking in. Until next time, if you miss any of these episodes, I got a whole Hip Hop 101 playlist. And if you like the playlist, check out the video list, music entertainment. You go get some good shit there as well, too.